Hi there, welcome back to another Dylan Rounds discussion. Today we're looking back at the comments recently to see what people have got to say, their thoughts and opinions on the Dylan Rounds case, see if there's any additional information we've not seen before, answer any questions if they're present. That's what we're going to do. But the main focus, or more so the more interesting part of this video, will be taking a look at Bob Farrell's recent post about supposedly quitting YouTube and getting rid of his channel, walking away from it completely. Is it really going to happen? Well, we can just see his response and go from there. As well, I want to look at the Shack Lady's recent comment to do with the Dylan Rounds case, more so James Brenner. She has said a few things. Although Shack Lady has not done any proper videos or live streams for a long time now, she is active in the community tab post on her channel. So we'll be taking a look at that today and seeing what's being said there regarding the Dylan Rounds case, okay? And if there is time afterwards, we'll do some other thing, okay? But there's a range of stuff to get through. Feel free to watch along and stick around from start to end to understand everything that's being talked about. Make use of the live chat box on the right-hand side of the screen. Share your thoughts, opinions, reactions, and comments there, and talk about a range of other stuff too. If you haven't already checked out my previous video, links down below in the pinned comment section, as well as some additional links, as well as updates regarding my channel and all the problems I've been experiencing and facing. I'll try and get a live stream out later tonight and explain it. If people show up, great. If people don't, then I'll just do another separate video some other time explaining it, and then just let people know and spread awareness there, right? So there's a range of stuff going on, a lot of BS in the background still, okay, you know, same old, same old. But as for the Dylan Rounds case, let's just focus on that for now. Allow people to join on into this live premiere and first begin with the comments of last night's video. Let's go. Just going to adjust it to the newest, and we're going to start from the bottom with Cleo. What does Cleo say here? I just got done watching a few minutes of the documentary about Dylan Rounds. Wow, it infuriates me, had to turn it off after a while. Is everyone blind or is it just me? I mean, I know I'm blind, but I see as well. A bit of a contradiction there. But what are the responses? Indiana, third eye. Oh, going down the deep route. Tom Evans saying, when I watched the documentary, I had to stop and go work in the garden for a while to blow off steam. Then I finished it. Cleo saying, yes, I know how you feel. I shall return as soon as I'm balanced at a baseline. Right, so it seems like the Dylan Rounds official documentary is deeply impacting people negatively out there. Some people are very saddened by the documentary. Others are really angry. Some are triggered. Interesting, right? How an incomplete documentary missing key details can give off such emotions and reactions from a range of people all about. At least from my perspective, when I watched the documentary about Dylan Rounds, it didn't really impact me one bit. Instead, it actually intrigued me as to potential red flags which were never spoken about beforehand in previous interviews. And whilst there were things missing, it didn't bother me too much because I already knew about those things talked about back then by the family and police reports, etc. So it wasn't the end of the world for me, but I could understand it from a different perspective. If someone came into the case brand new, they'd be misinformed and, you know, not knowing all the key details, which is unfortunate, right? But yeah, seems like documentary, all kinds of emotions, reactions, mainly bad. Yeah, okay. Anybody else watch the documentary? Let me know your thoughts down below. How did it feel when you watched it? Negative, positive, right? Kathy Waters. So is this the real Kathy Waters? I don't know. Typing in lowercase, but saying, try to get a more clear picture of Black Dove. He sure looks a lot like another missing boy. So is Kathy Waters being a little bit cryptic here? Bit suggestive that Black Dove may be a missing person or just simply similar in appearance as another missing person, but who? Who though? Dylan Rounds, Aidan Clune, or somebody else? I want to know your thoughts. I did a side-by-side comparison in a previous video when I was looking at Black Dove, a few different angles and lighting and different filters, cafe water. I did do that. Maybe not to your standard or to what you're thinking of, but I attempted something back then, so it is under control. As for getting a range of photos, I'm not really going to be doing that because it just seems a bit far-fetched, right? And a bit dodgy. Oh, yeah, just suddenly get all these photos of people. No, it was just a brief little recap and just highlighting possibilities, and that's all. As for the responses, Indiana says, I heard he has since been back on YouTube elsewhere, that he is missing since a hurricane or dead from an illness. Should be worried. And Kathy, you sure look like you're in need of a shave. Ooh, Kathy Waters. Ooh. Careful, Indiana. Careful, Indiana. You might get the capital locks are on, jaws coming in. Who knows? Tom, man, you're really on one. On what? On a table? Again? Oh, what about a chair? But yeah, I did a video a while ago looking at Black Dove, the odd other photo or lighting. There's a couple of people here and there that said that they've seen Black Dove's face properly in other videos. Okay, fair enough. Lone Wolf saying Shack Lady came into this case more than 6 months after it happened, yet she thinks she knows everything about the case. I think the problem is with the Shack Lady is there's times where when she words it, it could be interpreted as a fact when it's just a suggestion. But that's just how Shack Lady words things. When she gives her opinions and thoughts, it may not come off as that because she's not using the words "in my opinion" at that time. So there can be a bit of misinformation, but more so just misunderstandings as to what really is true and what isn't, and what's simply an idea, a theory, and then what's a fact. But I think the Shack Lady said in the past she sustained injuries to the head, so it kind of impacted her negatively in some way. I mean, for most part of it, when the Shack Lady has typed or stuff, I have understood her for most part of it in the past, compared to others out there who are all over the place. But yeah, I can see where misunderstandings went and how it led to some conflict, which is unfortunate. Got Clear here. See you next time. Bye. Interesting video today. Yet again, detach. Right. Just Jen saying, I wish I had Facebook so I could comment to the documentary or about it. That's ridiculous. You were talking about what other people were saying. Of course, you didn't believe that stupid theory. If they actually watched that video, didn't just take a clip, they'd know better. Yeah, unfortunate situation. As for the YouTube stuff in the background, completely different, but they're still screwing me over as well. It's weird. I wonder how many more people are going to try screwing me over out there. How much of a highly valued target am I when it comes to this world? Not just the UK, but in general. How much of a high valued target am I? What's the chances of being assassinated, I wonder? As others would say, don't be silly, don't be stupid. Well, let me respond. What is stupid is being in this position in the first place to think that way because of all the crap that's happened. So what's the real silly thing? That out there. YouTube, documentary, other humans, whatever. It's just silly. Move on. Just Jen. About Corey, said to watching the drama, the time-lapse video from Dylan Round's iPhone is solid proof James Brenner covered in blood murdered Dylan. Black Dove said his favourite cartoon as a kid was Darkwing Duck, so I thought of using that name. I loved the cartoon as well. I'm going to say a prayer for Black Dove. How could someone jump to that conclusion they can't even make sure without information on Black Dove? Yeah. That's why in my title, I believe so, that I used a question mark just to be safe. Part of me was thinking, if you use a certain title, it might get the attention of the person to then just simply confirm and say, I'm okay, no problems here. That didn't work, but Julie showed up in the background though, so that was kind of unexpected. Just one of those things, right? We got Glenn, shout out to Glenn. Cleo facial hair. Who? June. Have we seen this person before? I don't think so. Shout out to June, new viewer, I think, saying Black Dove said a couple of times that if he were positive Dylan was dead, he would stop going online. Also, is Joseph Lloyd still around? Joseph Lloyd is still around on YouTube, but no longer on my channel. I think Joseph Lloyd, kind of like Linda Cushing, moved over to Ty Corbyn's channel and Bob Farrell's and moved about there. Response, dot, okay, whatever that means. Indiana prayers for Dale, stay strong, get better soon, bud. We are all thinking of you and wishing you well soon. Dale is currently ill, supposedly pneumonia, however you say that. Shout out to, what's the person's name? Shout out to Holly Hutchins. AG is short for agriculture. Okay, thanks for confirming. Norma, Jim Terry was behind all the crazy theories, just like he does in all the cases he infects. Repeating what is said by nefarious actors on YouTube will soil your own path. Wasn't Bob Farrell accused of soiling himself as well by Jim Terry? Weird thought that. But the thing is, Norma, it is under control. You use the correct language, wording, right? Do it in a certain way, certain coverage, bit of balance, it's fine. Many other people have failed to do that. That's what led to the misunderstandings, the confusion, and just a complete mess. But it's okay here. Anything else on that, Captain? Well, come on, Cleo. Ahoy, ahoy. So that's it for the comment section here. Not really any more comments elsewhere, not that I'm aware of. I think it's now time to move on. So now we have moved on to the Shack Ladies Community tab section. And as you can see, although she's not uploaded any videos, she has been active in this area 12 days ago. Well, let's see what she's got to say. First of all, down here. Disgusted why? At the way ignorant people say things that are obviously rude gestures about other people. Who are you to judge another by their appearance or how they look? Take a good hard look at yourself before you start casting insults. Are you a parent? Probably not, and that makes me elude my opinion that you're ignorant as hell when it comes to any parenting style. No one is ever giving a manual on how to be the perfect parent, and even if you tried, you will still encounter mistakes along the way. Fact. The documentary wasn't created with your personal preferences in mind. It was a documentary about missing people. So is the Shack lady here responding back to criticism of the Dylan Rounds official documentary and people criticising, calling out the family that starred in it? And the Shack lady is defending the family? Makes me think. Anyway, let's just continue reading. Yeah, so the documentary wasn't created with your personal preference. We could talk all day about overweight, unhealthy people whose diet affects their health, or discuss how obesity and diabetes kill people every day. We could discuss the proper ways of dressing whilst on live or on television too. Maybe we could get into the topic of boldness and how I'm personally offended by such. Cover your head with a rug. It offends me. Better yet, I'm repulsed that you even have to talk about your nasty lower parts of the body seriously. Wait, what's going on here? Put a rug on your head? Why not a carpet? Oh, anyway. Fix your own hygiene before you invent something to talk about for your entertainment purposes. Yes, I'm disgusted because a so-called adult is fitting in his arena for attention-seeking motives, a spineless person that has the same characteristics of a covert narcissist. But let's not forget the times when you knew not much about Dylan Round's case and you sat on a panel in silence because you couldn't bring nothing of value to the table. Still today, some of your claimed facts are incorrect. So is the Shack lady responding back to Jim Terry or Bob Farrell? Because Shack lady was saying about hygiene, being bold, being obese, diabetes. Does that apply to Bob Farrell? Anyone know? Does this description by Shack lady and response back is talking about Bob? Is it because Bob Farrell made a post talking about how he was disgusted in the Dylan Rounds documentary and everything, and the Shack lady is responding back? Looks like it. Shack Lady says, but it shows your true character and I'm so grateful I figured you out. Once I did, you were tested. Yes, I said tested deliberately and it worked because you are not credible nor have an ounce of integrity. You have loose lips that sink ships. The old saying is, and in my terms, you are a liability no one wants around. I laughed when you proved me right. Fiction or non-fiction? Begging others and demanding them to give you information. No one owned you, nothing at all. You ask why doesn't a parent want to talk or like you? Read what you wrote about them before or talked about to them. Just another ignorant man. Why would they want to or even associate themselves with you? I don't think you need the answers. They're already giving it to you. Right, so it's definitely responding back to a male here. But you will pray because you are too like a stalker. Yes, you heard me. There are many forms of predatory behavior. You feel someone owes you this information. It's really none of your darn business. You remind me of the old people in mobile home parks who thrive on gossip because you're a troublemaker, an instigator, a sour-minded coward that has no life and you are internally miserable. So social media does you justice. This social media where you won't mean nothing in the end. You would think you learned something in your life, true value, empathy, compassion, integrity, ethics, and boundaries. Disgusting, really disgusting. If you take this personal and you feel the need to seek counselling or therapy, please know it's an opinion, an honest opinion, as I see fit. But if you need more psychological direction, please dial that to seek assistance. Right, so, what's going on here? Is this something to do with someone within the Dylan Rounds case community? Jim Terry, Bob Farrell, somebody else? It seems to be about a male. Is there any comments? No comments at all. So can anyone explain this? Right, okay. Let's move on to the next one, which is more aimed at Dylan Rounds. I mean, it seemed to be posted on the same day, so maybe it was all to do with that. And I think it might tie in line with the documentary, the timing. Anyway, here we go. Attention, Dylan Rounds supporters. I have something to throw at you. Well, hope it's not a turkey. Anyway, how many of you think that James Brenner would use the dementia or early onset Alzheimer's excuse regarding this case? Well, personally, I would respond back, Shack Lady, and say, is the 100% proof to suggest that Brenner has early onset Alzheimer's or dementia? Because I've just heard it scattered about here and there online, which could be another rumour, like all the other BS over time. So I would be cautious immediately, and that's how I have been, okay? Next point made by Shack Lady. How many do you believe it's an easy way out of a first-degree murder charge? How many locals would believe in such a diagnosis with him? Right, so I guess locals who would have been in the presence of Brenner, did he display signs of this and that back then? And they'd probably say no. Does anyone feel it's possible to create a non-existence of dementia by misleading medical professionals to accidentally misdiagnose a person by deliberately failing a neuropsych evaluation to make people believe you have memory loss? Right, so basically, in short, do you believe that Brenner is the type of guy to wiggle his way out, get a bit of leniency, maybe get his sentence reduced or the outcome a bit more lenient by thinking smart and playing the mental health bandwagon and saying there's something wrong with himself when there isn't, and he puts it on as a performance to benefit in some way? Is Brenner smart enough to do that? I don't think so. What now? What else on here? Would you agree or disagree that it's possible to manipulate the system and medical professionals to elude you have no memory of something, which in fact you may have memory of, but are trying to get a lesser charge and lesser sentence? Do you feel Brenner could possibly use this as a get out of jail card? Why would Brenner say Chase committed murder? Let's also consider alcohol usage. Long-term usage and the effects that mimic other neurological disorders where misdiagnosis can occur. Think about this. It is totally barking up my alley of educational interest. Would love to hear your thoughts, and we will have a show on this in a couple of days. Keep an eye out for it. Well, 12 days on, I've not seen anything. Please share a comment or question you may have as well. We'd love to hear your input. Please be respectful and allow others to agree or disagree. So I guess this is like setting up for a live stream, 10-hour long discussion of talking about table legs, coffee, Starbucks, turkeys, farms, pigs, animals, and how to be an expert, and an in-depth manual guide to the knowledge of the Earth and the power of the universe and the alien race deep within the Earth's core, the magnetic structure forming as time goes on, the paralegic dynamics and the hierarchical systems, the structuring in society. Yeah. And then about a minute's worth talking about the Dylan Rounds case. Bit of an exaggeration now, okay? But I think possibilities that the Shack lady might be watching my videos in the background, because the Alzheimer's, the memory loss was talked about in the live chat of one of my recent videos. So maybe the Shack lady was influenced in some way and inspired down the educational route to maybe understand it. I can give you my thoughts in a second about what I feel about Brenner and his potential health, okay? Shack lady, if you are present, if you are in the background, Shack lady, you want to use some of my thoughts or questions in your video, feel free to do so, okay? What's the comments here? For a person to try to fake that they have a memory loss will be interesting indeed. Knowing how this personally works with testing, scans, and countless neurologists and medications, I find this topic very interesting. We've seen so much with criminal cases, but I'm curious as to your thoughts. Well, I'll roughly give you my thoughts in this video shortly. Don't worry about that. So we've got 2 posts by Shack Lady. One calling somebody out, or in a way, and then this one talking about Brenner directly. Well, let's move on to my thoughts. So where do we begin with? Well, first of all, looking at Brenner's body language. Really had the opportunity to do that mainly once. And that was when Brenner was walking into court, and East Idaho News Channel covered it, recorded it, posted it on YouTube. Obviously in his jumpsuit, overalls, prison gear, whatever you call it. Handcuffed, as well as chains at the bottom of his legs, and only chains, not bars. So he was able to walk. You might wonder, why am I referring to that immediately? Because it's the first lot of body language I noticed with Brenner regarding past health issues, if you call it that, more physical health issues, disabilities, if you want to call it that, depending how it's labelled. And did Brenner fake it in the courtroom, or was it natural? Talk about that, and then I can transfer onto this whole dementia thing, right? So whilst Brenner in the courtroom at the time, when did this happen? I can't remember now, some months ago or something. Candice Cooley, Justin Rounds present, watching. Brenner comes on in, has a bit of a stumble, trips over or something. Candice Cooley, Justin Rounds not too impressed. Brenner keeps walking, kind of limping in a way, maybe dragging his leg, looking like he's in discomfort or some kind of pain. And then he stands there for however long, and then once everything's been done, sorted at that moment in time, he turns around and it looks like he's suddenly about to faint, and it's like the walls of the heat hit him. He's like, ooh. He looks like he's maybe uncomfortable, not really that happy either. People did say in the chat at the time that it was normal for people to feel a bit dizzy or off balance when turning around after standing for some time in a singular spot. Okay, I guess that clears that up, I guess. But as for Brenner then walking out, he was limping again, looked like his face may have been in pain or something. No eye contact with the family. At the end of it, when interviewed, Candice Cooley, Justin Rounds said that Brenner was faking it, pretending to appear vulnerable, ill, hurt in some way with his legs. Didn't believe it. They thought it was just an act to make people feel sorry for him. Did it work? Not from the looks of it, I don't think. Do I feel that Brenner faked it at the time? Not really. Do I feel that Brenner may have exaggerated in some way or another? I mean, that could be a possibility. You never know. I mean, it all comes down to the mental aspect, okay? Is he opportunistic? Is he, ready on the ball to exploit this or exploit that, take advantage, right? Is that what he's going to do? I don't think so. I mean, he's caught, been arrested, right? Been charged down the line, reoffended over time, always getting caught, always getting in trouble. Not exactly a smart thing to do to constantly reoffend, right? But could it be a psychological issue somewhere, constantly reoffending? Yeah, it can apply. Does it apply directly to Brenner? I'm not in a position to say so, but it can apply to others elsewhere. That's why they keep reoffending, not learning, not improving or anything like that, etc. But just my thoughts, very basic. I think in that courtroom, Brenner was restricted to movement because he was chained up, of course, and with having leg injuries from back in the past, claiming disability allowance at one point because his legs supposedly messed up that much that it limited his mobility and etc. And with his age, wouldn't have helped either. I think it was kind of natural. But I can't blame Candice Cooley just in rounds for thinking, oh, is Brenner putting a sorry display on to make people feel sorry for him? I don't blame them for thinking that way. But I do think Brenner at that time was probably, just because he's chained up in his dodgy legs, that's about it. At some point in another court hearing, people thought Brenner was ill, but then the next time round when they saw him, he wasn't ill. But he seemed healthier. He seemed a bit better. Some people noted that he had more definition in his forearms. Was he doing prison workouts, going to the gym inside, getting healthier that way? Withdrawal from alcohol wearing its way off him. No longer taking alcohol, eating normal food. Technically, he can only get better, right? And then recently, the curveball being thrown in, passed about Indiana, hearing it from Mob Crew Chris's channel chat live stream recently, where some person came on and said, because of their position, they're from the US, I can't remember what it was to do with, but they knew about Brenner and his Alzheimer's or dementia. As I said, before we even get into the long discussion about will Brenner play the card, will he try and convince people that he has it or not, just simply put, can we be 100% certain, confident that he has it in the first place, yes or no? That's what I'm saying. And I just don't think there's enough proof to suggest it. So then, would it be worth going on to the discussion about, well, how would Brenner, put it in his favour and use it to excuse his actions, to be treated more leniently because of memory loss? Well, then the next question would be, would Brenner even consider that aspect if he doesn't have the issue to begin with? And why would he specifically think of that form of psychological health deterioration aspect? Why would he focus on that and use it to his advantage when you could use other illnesses and other stuff, maybe because of memory loss, right? You can get away with it better because of memory loss itself. But would Brenner even think of wiggling his way out in the first place? I mean, he's shifted the blame onto other people beforehand, such as the likes of Chase Venstra, saying he's the one, he's to blame. And that was about it. Did Brenner go any further by trying to prove it or reach out to others? No. Has Brenner protested? No, he's kept quiet. Kind of makes him look a little bit guilty as well. Has Brenner given up? Don't know. I wouldn't say there's enough to work off from it. I think what you'd have to genuinely do is look at more court cases of Brenner when they do eventually come around and analyse his body language and behaviour at that point. Because at this moment, it's just not possible. For the physical aspect, you can analyse it and say, is he putting a certain display on or not? Like how Justin and Candice Cooley inferred from it when Brenner was in court that time. He was putting it on, faking it for attention. Or other people thinking it was normal because of his injuries from the past sustained in the leg and ankle area, so he's going to be in a bit of discomfort, etc., right? As for the psychological aspect, I mean, maybe the hunger strike could have been one when Brenner previously went on the 30-day hunger strike, form of protesting in some way. Has he done anything else? Has he been on suicide watch? I don't know. Has he received any medication in between? I'm not sure. If anyone can fill in the blanks, feel free to do so, right? I think we'll leave that discussion there, but maybe I'm sure the Shack Lady will have more to say about the stuff, who she invites onto the show. I don't know. I'm just focused with Dylan Rounds at this moment in time, specifically the case. So, regarding Bob Farrell, we can move on to that aspect now. Bob Farrell has been known to, in a way, cover the Dylan Rounds case in his own format and talk about it. Take in mind, even if Bob Farrell's recent live streams and videos on his actual channel haven't always been about Dylan and more about drama, in the past Bob Farrell was on the Shack Lady's live streams and maybe elsewhere too, right? Maybe more focused on Dylan Rounds back then. If I had to make a brief on-the-spot observation, you know what I would say, Bob Farrell, is that maybe, Bob, you were more focused on the Dylan Rounds case in the past when you weren't around certain people, possibly. That maybe these days you are hearing more stuff about the case, but maybe not a lot of truth in everything possible. Just a random thought. But yeah, Bob's been on YouTube for however long, started uploading to his video channels, to his videos, which when was that, like a few months ago or so, with the presence and help of some people in the background to just spread awareness of his channel and grow from there, right? And for him, it's been okay, but at the same time, it's led to a bit of conflict and messy stuff in the background, and that's just gone on and on. All I would say, Bob Farrell, is whether there was an agreement or an understanding to begin with, is to be expected, right? If you align yourself with certain people, not so much align yourself with certain people, but invite people onto your show, then it can lead to becoming a target. Obviously, you shouldn't feel that you're in a position where you have to restrict yourself and suppress yourself just because it might lead to bad things happening. But for a good outcome, for long-term survival, you just got to be, I guess, a little bit careful and wary. And I don't know if that was the case for you, Bob, or not. As for me, my videos and stylage has always been this way, this format, just me, etc. And it's reduced problems. There could have been many more down the line, but it was all prevented because of how I do my videos. Though other people that do them in different formats, they're prone to experiencing all these problems. And, you know, because of your style and format, Bob, live stream, panel, guest, host, mods, and all that, it can have its own issues with it. And being on a certain side and then all the other people in the background maybe getting triggered or annoyed by it, thinking that you've changed or turned, and they won't be too happy with you, and then back and forth all over the place, to the point where it seems as if Bob Farrell has now had enough of it all because of supposed phone calls in the background. But this is the other thing again, Bob Farrell, when it comes to phone numbers and more personal forms of communication, direct contact in the case or not, you give your phone number out, it's like pasta parcel, and it goes all over the place. And you know, people that call back afterwards, you'll probably be thinking, what the hell's going on? But that's just what happens. Got to be cautious, wary once again. Anyway, with that all in mind, let's just take a look at Bob Farrell's recent post on his community tab and see what he's got to say about quitting YouTube. Well, here we are, Bob Farrell's channel. Currently, he is live, basically talking about what's recently been going on. In terms of his voice and tone, sounds a bit, what do you call the word, interjected? I don't know, dejected, that's it. Stuttering all over the place. My goodness, good start already. But now, Bob Farrell's tone and voice sounds a bit more withdrawn than usual. Okay, does it tie in line with his post, what he's done previously? We'll take a look at it. I just want to highlight before we go any further, this video was recorded earlier on. Okay, so take that into mind. Things may have changed from now till later on. I'm just going to give you my thoughts and opinions. So, has Bob Farrell changed his about section first of all? It looks like it. Just sick of all the harassment from everyone on YouTube, tired of people saying Dylan isn't your son, etc. You don't know him, so move on from this case. So I'm going to do just that in a few days. I have to wait and get what little money I made from this site. Then I will be changing my home number and cell phone number. Please no calls from anyone, no text or emails. My mind is made up after 14 months of this living BS. Right, so maybe that's what will happen. Community, which one is it? Had a bad headache all day. Time to make change again. Right, so it's mainly this one, isn't it? Okay, let's begin reading. Not too long. He says, well, again, it's 0410 hours. I'm still getting some emails and text messages, so I will wait for a few more days. I'm going to mostly likely going to shut down my channel just because of the BS that comes with having a channel. I will wait for a few days. I have to call my phone company and my cell company to change my phone numbers, which I have had for many, many years. There are just too many sick people on YouTube, nasty people. Everyone talks about what I do in my private life. I have a gambling problem. Well, you all have either of or the other. You're a drunk or drug user. Many of you are both. So do me all a favour in capital letters. Don't call my cell phone. Don't send me any more nasty down text on AOL. You all win. I am done, period. Maybe I will come back with a freaking fake name and fake account and screw with all of you morons on here. Again, don't call me. I don't want to talk to anymore about anything. I do hope they recover Dylan someday. I will check on Google every once in a while to see if there are any updates. The end of Bob Farrell's channel. Congratulations. Again, no phone calls, no text, no emails. Thank you. So Bob Farrell supposedly had enough of all this. As for a short story, could it have been all avoided? Yes, it could have all been avoided, but would it have led to your channel being as successful as it was short term? Probably not. The way it could have all been avoided is just to simply not allow certain people onto your show to begin with. But then statistically, would have missed out, wouldn't you? So it was a tricky balancing act. You did what you thought was the best options and how it's going to work, but I guess things got a bit messy down the line. Is there any other ways about it to avoid it or reduce it? I don't know. I'm not in that situation. But, you know, Bob, let's just see what the comments are. What do people say? Bob, you are still going live tonight. Don't let anyone get in your way. Don't leave us, Bob. You have so many more people that enjoy your streams than you do nasty haters. What's this one? Mr. X News Network. So it's him. Sorry to hear this, Bob. We have been dealing with this for over a year. The people who are harassing you are all bark and no bite. Or as he says, not bite. If you do decide to go, I wish you the best and thank you for having Jim and I on the channel. We had fun here. You're always welcome to call either one of us anytime. Ah, that's the line. I wish you nothing but the best. By the way, you got a great channel. Something like that. Response-wise, wait for it. So is Norma on side with them or against them? I don't know at this point. This person, loving the sun, do what is right for you, Bob. A person can only take so much stress. A reasonable subscription plan might be a good solution if you decide to move forwards. Tex Baby Boomer saying, please don't leave, Bob. You, Jim, and Mr. X are the only ones I watch on here anymore. I really do enjoy your channel, even though I never say anything. Well, I've said something a couple of times, but I think I got blocked. Ignore those nitwits and block them. Wait, so you love the channel which you've supposedly been blocked on? How does that work? Oh, anyway. Smile now, cry later. Different profile picture now. Saying, Bob, don't let these scumbags win. I really enjoy your channel and love to hear you laugh. I really hope you rethink this decision. I do want you to stay healthy and will be praying for you, Bob. I'm certainly going to miss hearing you and hope you decide not to shut down. Take care, Bob, and I hope to hear from you soon. Much love, Bob. Response-wise, Carol agrees. Leanne, I understand where Bob is coming from. It has changed me and I don't even have a channel. I want to be like Joy. Tell everyone what I think of them. Wait, do you mean, Leanne, you want to become Joy Perry? Someone that badmouths, swears, loses control in seconds, switches and turns on people, calls them out, says that they've got evidence and proof when they can't back it up because they deleted all that stuff afterwards. Is that who you want to become? Oh, okay. I mean, Leanne, if you do become Joy Perry, feel free to drop by on the channel, leave a few comments down below, because I'm sure Badger Life will start another eBay auctioneer once again. Just kidding. But what else do we have here? I agree about telling everyone that is hating off. Bob, I think people are really just tired of the haters, and when people show you who they are, listen. I think a lot of people have shown you who they are, and I think you should stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. I always heard, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Stop letting people fool you. Iceberg, Ellen. So very true. Interesting how we've got these cross connections, and this is how you can establish the neural pathological pathways of what's going on. Okay. Carrot, agree. Bob's got a good soul. Okay. Sadie, saying, sad to see you go, Bob. I hope you don't, but you have to do what's best for you. Don't let the haters get you down. You're a good person. Stay safe and well. God bless. Now, this is also interesting because whilst I'm looking at these comments, just simply commenting on it myself at the same time with commentary and analysis, making it more original. So YouTube, don't be petty. But if anything does happen, then we know that there might be an agenda against Warlike Ref at the same time, as some people have suggested. No harm in testing these little experiments out. We've got someone called Daddy. Remember, Bob, when you're over the target, you get the flak. Stay good, sir. So what this person is saying is kind of like what Ty Corbin was talking about when he was associated with Lance Kelly during that time of the Heavy D meetup when we were at Bald Eagle Mountain. Similar line used back then. Little whatever saying, seems like you have a lot of people who love you. Hope the best for you. Smile now, cry later. Bob, I think you should just sit and I think about all that has caused trouble with you and boot them, and the ones that haven't given them one chance. If they do mess with you or sends you proof of them being nasty towards you, then boot them off at that point and don't let them come back. Or do like Jim said, make it a membership show, $5.99 a month, so no one can gift memberships. People can still watch but not chat, and I think that will really show you who is who. Bob, I think you're trying to be friends with everyone is where you made the mistake, because some of these folks couldn't give two shits about you. I really enjoy your show and the hours you have been going on, because I have a hard time going to sleep at night, and I love listening to the show whilst I go to sleep, and it's not right for the ones that don't care about you to ruin everything for the ones that do. I also believe the reason people are bothering you is because of the success of your show. Maybe you can go get another number for your personal life and turn off the phone for the show upset for only when the show is on, and get you another email for another issue, and they only check the emails if they didn't hate to Bob. Well, I'll understand though if you shut off the show because your health is above everything else, and no YouTube crap is with your health. This is just all my opinion, and I hope you can find a resolution instead of shutting down. Much love, Bob. I hope you're okay. Okay, there we go. Well, people said they want me to talk fast, so I can do at times. Very well. I think you can gift the lower amount memberships, just not the higher ones. Okay. See, this is the thing. You can't be everyone's friend. You can't be liked by everybody. That's pretty common sense, right? But some people still can't process it with time. When it comes to balance, well, actually, maybe I'm the only person upon this platform that can demonstrate balance in such an in-depth way. But what comes with long-standing torture and self-torture to get to that point, that's what separates humans from one. Okay? But what does Iceberg say here? Bob, you need to learn to say what you mean and mean what you say. You do have a soft heart. Okay, a bit spelt wrong there. Makes you vulnerable to the haters. YouTube is a tough world. You can do it and you can't. Quit flipping about. So, response-wise, yeah, she corrected us off, fair enough. The bit about you need to do what you say, do what you mean, etc., etc. I mean, the people that say, oh, I can't stand the drama, but then they keep coming back. Bit problematic, right? The ones that say, oh, I can't stand that person, the way they've called me out and backstabbed me and leaked this and leaked that and exposed my story and done this. Oh my God. Oh, but I'm going to come back afterwards again and be all happy and nice. What the hell's going on there? You get what I'm saying? I mean, have I ever said, oh, I've had enough of the drama, can't handle it anymore? No, I've not said that. If I did say that, I wouldn't be here right now. Does that make sense? When I say I've reached a checkpoint truly, and then I move on to a different case, that's what I do. It's just that that's not happened yet, because last minute new information has come on out. Not now, but back then when I felt I reached a checkpoint. I am almost on the verge of reaching another checkpoint within the Dylan Rounds case. So we see what happens there, right? Anything else? You've opened that door for them. This is a dying world and is mixed with good and bad people in the end. They're all strangers. Maybe. Vegas girl. Please stick around. I'm new, but I found you through Jim and Mr. X. I really enjoy your shows. Maybe just consider taking a break sometimes. A break is all you need. Have a great day. I do enjoy your show. There's been YouTubers talking about if you take a break from YouTube for too long, YouTube does not favorite you anymore and you end up being worse off. Don't know if that's entirely true, but it's a bit unfair, isn't it? Augusta saying, one possible way to solve this solution, Bob, and I believe it'll separate the wheat from the chaff, a monthly subscription. Your thoughts? I hope you'll reconsider and stick around. P.S. This is exactly what these chumps want. Agreed. Sadly, I saw this coming a mile away. I think your downfall was trying to be friends with everyone, not really owning your channel and under the wing of others. Even if you don't mean it in your words, sometimes cut like a knife. I will miss you and hope for the best. Amen. True statement. Enjoy, Bob. Barbara saying, Bob, oh no, Barbara has a profile picture of maybe her and a cat next to her. Oh no, is this Kathy and Axel, some kind of connection established? Oh, I hope not. Let's not go down that route, all the dodginess. Anyway, this person says, Bob, I just discovered your channel very recently and was enjoying your shows. You're very interesting to listen to on all your channel. You don't even need Jim or Mark. An occasional panel guest on air phone call from time to time is all you need to keep a topic going throughout your show. I'm so sorry you've been harassed and we'll miss you. Twin Mama, Bob, just block the calls and ignore the emails. Kathy. How many more Kathys are there? There's a lot of Kathys. To be fair, Bob, you call out people all the time for their private lives. You can't just justify it with put it on YouTube. You put your life out there. They have every right to do the same. Is it right? Neither side is right, but there we are. What you sow, you repeat. Cowgirl Sally, I don't know what's going on, but did you do now that people are harassing you for now? The haters need to be blocked. Barbie, where you? Can come out and play? Okay. What about one goodbye show? Maybe that's what he's doing right now, little Willow. Come on, Barb. Joy Perry. Marcy Girl had to shave her head off for attention and show people she still has room for cash apps. Tanya Joy. Is she really going to shave her head? How much are people paying for that? And more to the point, why would anyone pay to see that? I mean, the same could be said about in the past on the other shows on YouTube where other people shave their heads. Seems to be a recurring theme, that. Shelley. Same reason people pay for cable, go to a movie and go to a concert. It's entertaining, it's funny AF. I love watching after a stressful day at work. Helps me relax and smile. I mean, to be honest, if it was active at the time and you want to relax, just go on Live Leak and just watch people get absolutely obliterated in seconds. Oh, no. Oh, sorry, we're going down a psychopath route down a bit of a narcissistic pathway. But then again, neurologically, there might be people out there that demonstrate that anyway in the background, but they won't show it anyway because it's moved in deep within. So what was going on there? Sorry, I don't know what was being said there. Anyway, let's move on. Tanjo, God, I just can't imagine paying to see that. I find YouTube in general relaxing, especially the funny characters, but I can't imagine people wanting to see Marzi shave her head. Then again, I didn't find her going out shopping entertaining either. I find Jim himself very entertaining, though. Just him, though. Everyone's different, I guess. So Tanya Joy finds Jim Terry interesting, but not so much Mr. X. Fair enough. Hope you change your mind, says Adele. Kathy Waters. Oh no, Kathy Waters with the caps lock on. That only means one thing. Shark-infested waters. The blood has been exposed. Nibble, nibble, nibble. The parrot has been enraged. Let's see. Caps lock stuck on. Almost like Jim Terry. And Bob! If Jim Terry asks about me, don't say, I don't know. I have the balls to say, Jim, it's not anything to you with me talk about. It's simple, none of your business. It's a private matter with a good co-worker, we the people. So I couldn't even understand most of that, to be honest. No response there, which is weird. Do you know who is doing this? And last but not least, don't go, Bob. I love you. Please think about it. I think you're great. You have my phone number if you ever want to call me. Okay. That's pretty much it. Bob's still doing his video. Okay, fair enough. So just wanted to I just share that post with you. As for what's currently going on, things might change from now till later, but I'll just give you my rough thoughts right now. So basically, the way I see it, I really wouldn't be surprised if Bob Farrell keeps his channel up, goes quiet for maybe a few days, maybe a week, and then comes back like normal and does a live stream, whether it be a members only one or locked behind some kind of paywall or some kind of membership being introduced. It wouldn't surprise me, okay? I mean, if Bob wants to continue, he feels like he's being pushed back with resistance and there's ways about it, then he'll probably, do that. Maybe other people will advise him to do so and he'll be taught how to do it. Who knows? I mean, the possibilities of Bob in the future coming on back with a fake account, as he suggested in the post, could get a bit messy for some people out there, right? We've already seen it in the past. If it happens again, who knows what it could lead to. But as said, I'm not surprised if Bob Farrell says he's quitting and then he comes back at a later point, okay? Just like what Salty Pancakes has done many, many, many times. Pancake said, I'm quitting, comes back. Ty Corbin, I'm walking away from the Dylan Rounds case for about 3 months. 2 days after saying that, Warlike Wrath, I'm back again and I'm complaining and whining like usual. You get what I'm saying? There's a constant pattern, okay? A pattern of all these males saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and then they don't. And there'll be more patterns in the background, right? So I just wanted to share that with you. Be sure to share your thoughts down below in the comment section regarding the Dylan Rounds case, regarding the Shack Lady's comments about it, and in general. Bob Farrell supposedly leaving as well. Just let me know all about that down below, okay? We're not quite done yet because there's some additional things that can be incorporated right here, right now, okay? If anyone has joined or recently joined, welcome. Best advised for you to rewind back now to the start of this video to catch up on everything. What I'm going to do now is transition onto something else besides the Dylan Rounds case. We're moving away from that and transitioning onto something else right now. So regarding Dale, a viewer on my channel as well as on other areas on YouTube, been present for some time, a bit dodgy, a little bit degenerative, but okay individual. Recent time became ill, physically ill, and it's gone on for a bit and it's somewhat serious also. Advised by Matt Lingo and approved by Matt Lingo and I guess Laura in a way, a healing session is going to happen right now. Dr. Raff is opening up a free appointment on the spot, okay? It does appear that there is a bit of a backlog of other patients. We get through one by one. It looks like Cleo has decided to jump the clue because she's a little bit jealous. But don't worry, Cleo, I can fit you in as well. And we're going to focus on Cleo first and then focus on Dale, okay? So I think, which one does Cleo want? Well, she's not choosing. Cleo, it's time, okay? So you sit there, stand there, do star jumps, do whatever you need to do, okay? Relax the stomach muscles so it doesn't feel tense, okay? You ready, Cleo? Seeing that you said there was more focus that needed to be applied to Cleo. That Cleo, you said you were misbehaving recently, that you've been a bit dodgy, that a little bit on and off, you've been a little bit erratic, a bit all over the place. Oh, Cleo, shh. Hold all those thoughts. Okay? It's time. Shh. Don't resist, Cleo. Don't resist. You jumped to the front of the queue for an appointment with Dr. Raff. You're going to receive an inspection right now, okay? We're not wasting time. Do you understand, Cleo? Yes, things have been very rough recently as for the platform on YouTube. All kinds of screwing over and dodgy technological issues. But you know what? Something that never fails but always delivers is the black belt. And that's what you're going to receive right now, Cleo. You think you can take it? Sorry, I don't hear that, Cleo. Can you repeat? You think you can take it? Well, let's see. Come on, Cleo. Yeah, come on, Cleo. Yeah, come on, Cleo. A really up-close CQB come up. Come on, Cleo. Come on, Cleo. Fucking take it, man. You can do it, Cleo. You want the Texas tornado? You feel it slapping and smashing all over the place, Cleo, Yeah, you want some friction as well? Come on, Cleo. Come on, Cleo. Yeah, come on, Cleo. Friction against the face. Up and down. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Oh, Cleo, what's that? Oh, you want the After Dark belt buckle? Come on, Cleo. Come on, Cleo. You feel the metallic slapping against the flesh. Cleo, do not run away. You feel the hard FUD hitting, Cleo? Yeah. She'll be whipping all those accounts all over the place. Exactly. A few more. We're going to double it up. We're going to make it really tight. Are you ready, Cleo? You want it really tight? Here we go. Come on. Yeah. I told you, Cleo. That's what happens when you jump the clue. When you jump to conclusions. You get a rapid whip. Do you understand, Cleo? Cleo! Do you understand? Good. Now, Dale, where you at? It's time. Yeah. What's that? Ooh, a spider. Yeah. Spider. Yeah. Come on, Dale. The spider is going to bite you and heal you. Are you ready? There you go, Dale. Just to finalise it, it's that time once again. Sometimes if you just do it once, it's more than enough, and that's what's going to happen. We're using the old one this time. Really, really rugged. But it has been used and been quite effective, and that's what's going to happen right now. I'm going to double it up. Special. Okay? It's time for the holy whip of wrath. It's time to heal Dale for once and for all. Here we go. Coming on in. Swaying in the wind. Okay. Are you ready? down and up, down and up. The holy whip of wrath is coming on in to heal Dale once and for all, to bind his soul with his mind. In the name of wrath, I whip you. There we go. There we go. It'll take some time, that. Take a little bit. Should be fine. A few side effects later, but I think it'll be okay. So that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, you found it interesting. Rewind to the beginning if you missed the start. I'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night.